Okay, let's get started. Thank you for joining me. Tonight is Seek and You Will Find, and I've got a couple of questions already. If you want to ask me a question and receive a healing answer, go ahead and write your question in the chat bar on the right, and I'll be answering your questions to you specifically, and then I'll do a group healing in some related manner to your question. And tonight I'm going to start with my own healing choice. So I thought of something I'd like to work on with everybody, and that is helping you pull your healing energy out of the war in Ukraine. So I'm going to start by helping everybody pull their energy back from the war. All right, I'm going to set the energy for tonight's session with a prayer. As we cleanse and heal the temple of the soul, may it be with the blessing of divinity, that it shine its countenance upon us and bring us peace in body, mind, and spirit. Amen. Okay, let's get started and take a look at how much of your healing energy is on the other side of the planet. There's a lot of worry. That's the biggest energy I see outside of your body and over there, kind of halfway between here and there. And the other thing that I see that I want to work on, I worked on this with the healers in the healing clinic just recently, where we looked at whether you have any of your astral bodies over in Ukraine helping out. And so that's something I'm going to look at. And those of you that have astral bodies over there, I'm going to help you bring them back. A lot of where I see, those of you that have astral bodies over there, a lot of where I see you in them or using them is in the healing of the physical problems that people are having from the war, the damage to their bodies. That's what I meant, is to their bodies. Most of the astral bodies are coming back pretty quickly. There's about 3 that aren't. I'm just going to see what's keeping them. Come on back. Well, the 3 that are still there all have the 3 of you people that have astral bodies over there all have karma with Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. And now I'm just going to help you all call your healing energy back. That was kind of interesting. As the healing energy is coming back, I'm hearing things in it. And one of the comments was how noisy it is, like a comment about the sound levels. And then now that all that healing energy is back, I want to work on you like in your bodies, because there's a lot of fear, a lot of different fear pictures about how this could happen here or anywhere. So that I want to help you clear the fear out of this. And that fear goes to the very core of our beings, especially those of us that love our freedom. So the threat to having our freedom be taken away from us is very frightening, and that's where I'm working right now. There was a very thick, dark blue energy released that had to do with the fear, kind of a midnight blue color. And now I'm just working on some energy of being unsettled over the whole fact that we have a war going on. Good. Good job. All right. You're on full release right now, so that's great. I'm going to start filling you in with gold suns, and then we'll get to our questions. Okay. You're filled in with gold, so now I'm going to, let's see. Oh, my phone battery is dying. Let me just take some notes real quick. Sorry about this. I forgot that my phone needed charging. And I want to make sure that I get your questions before my phone dies. Okay. Sorry to keep you. All right. So the first question, let me read this because I need to read it, is from somebody that took the money class. So the money class was last Thursday, and it says the class was very enlightening for her. When you asked something like what I had learned from my dad about money, that was easy. But my mom, it was much harder. I could only remember her telling me that there was not enough for me. So during the class, I had everybody look at how their parents affected their money space. And so what she's saying is that her mom was telling her there wasn't enough money for her. Not enough money, not enough food, or money for clothes. I don't remember her treating my 5 brothers that way. I didn't lack anything because my grandmother, Virginia, always bought me whatever I needed and more. She also bought for my brothers too. Can you help me understand why I was treated differently by my mom? I know she loved me and probably wasn't aware of her actions like I remembered them. Okay. This might be hurtful to hear, but I'm just going to tell you what I see is that there was a higher value placed on the boys in the family than the girls because of looking at their productivity levels, like what they like their potential earning capacity is how that was looked at. And it's a lot of it was just ingrained. And no, your mother wasn't conscious of making it, wasn't like a conscious distinction, but yeah, I definitely see how you were treated differently. So I think where I'm going to work with you on this is um, the judgment about your value, because that translates into how much money you feel like you can deserve or can create. So I'm going to work on the judgment about your value. Okay. Well, when I highlight the judgment, what comes up with it is a lot of hurt and pain, and it's pretty much like in your back channels. So it goes like from your head down to about your second chakra, which is in your abdomen. It's kind of like a grainy, gravelly, reddish brown energy. And some feelings of being insignificant coming out. And feelings of being the second choice. In my house, we used to call that sloppy seconds. So that's the picture that you have coming out, is that you weren't first choice. And you know what else I'm noticing as I work on you is that your parents made an assumption that you really wouldn't have to work, that if you grew up and got married, that you would be taken care of. So there was an assumption about you that you didn't need to know um, really about getting a job or working or creating money. I should say about creating money. Good. I like what I'm seeing. You're giving yourself a female healing. I like that very much. So as soon as I was showing you how to clear that judgment, you were bringing in this really pretty pink coral female vibration to heal yourself with. So take that for those who don't value the female body. Bravo. Very good. I'm going to fill you in with gold. Good. All right. And now I like that so much, that question, that I'm going to do the same thing for everyone. And that's take the judgment out of your value. So this is for the sanctuary now. Well, the first thing I see is that when you're judged, because you're a healer, there's a lot of resistance to getting into any kind of conflict whatsoever. So when a judgment is made, the reaction is to back away or back down from that judgment. So I'm seeing kind of like the energy of not cowering, retreating. Maybe that's a better word, retreating, when you feel like your value is being judged, rather than standing up for yourself. And I believe this has to do with the programming for you to be a healer and to be, like, quote, a good girl or a good boy and not speak up or rock the boat at all. There are a ton of matching pictures with the person that asked the question about being judged for being one type of body or another, rather than both sons and daughters being looked at equally. And I'm also giving a healing to the throat chakra, because of all the times that you've been judged, there's an awful lot that you would have liked to have said that you didn't. And so there's a lot of unspoken words at the back of the throat chakra. And what's coming in is a lot of gold, which is really nice. A nice high vibration is coming in. And your communication with Supreme Being is being restored so that you can recognize your value. Because to me, that's really where your assessment of your value comes from, is your ability to be in communication with Supreme Being, be on your path, and be able to have that one-to-one communication back and forth with Supreme Being so that you can gauge whether you're on your path or not. Okay, that actually looks really nice. Nice and bright, bright yellow gold. So I'm going to fill you in with a gold sun. Okay, great. My next question is, I have been going to my chakras to spin them recently, and some of them are going counterclockwise, and it's very challenging to get them to go clockwise. What causes them to spin backwards? That is a great question. Chakra is really two cylinders. So you have an inner cylinder that spins clockwise. I'm going to reverse this so that you can see how it's actually supposed to be. So the inner cylinder goes clockwise, and then the outer cylinder goes counterclockwise. And so when you're seeing it going backwards, what you're seeing is that the inner cylinder is not spinning properly. So you don't actually want the whole chakra to go backwards. You want to get that inner cylinder spinning properly. So I'm going to go through your chakras right now. Actually, I'm going to go through everybody's chakras and check the spin. It's a little grainy and crusty up here on the crown chakra for everyone. So there's a little, it's almost like when a car is cold and it's trying to start. And so that's kind of what's going on in the crown chakra right now. And that is the inner cylinder spin. The outer cylinder spin on the crown chakra is fine. Much easier to get the sixth chakra, this one right here, spinning. Throat chakra is a little slow on the inner cylinder, spin to the right. And I just thought of something for the person who asked this question. Gunk can get between the two cylinders. So that's also another place you can take a gold sticky rose and clean out between the two cylinders. So one sits inside of the other. Okay, now I'm going to the heart chakra. Well, this surprises me because this chakra is spinning pretty well. And yeah, it's doing really well. Third chakra is just in general slow and labored. And it's both the inner cylinder and the outer cylinder. And let's not forget the third chakra is our energy distribution chakra. So anytime that gets off, it will affect your overall energy. That being said, it's also like a major chakra, so it has a lot of stress on it. I'm going to try to get this chakra spinning properly. There's just plain old a lot of resistance in that chakra. There's a lot of resistance, just the energy of resistance when I go to try to spin it. Here it goes. It's still kind of slow. It's still a little labored, but I'm going to keep a grounding cord on it and move to the second chakra in your abdomen. This is your emotional and sexual chakra. There's a lot going on in this chakra. It's actually noisy. It almost sounds like pots and pans clanking together. There's so much going on. Good, good. That cleaned up. And now I'm going to your first chakra at the base of your spine, which is the chakra that your grounding cord is attached to. This chakra is even more crusty than the crown chakra. There's a lot of like old energy in the first chakra. And it looks to me like it's energy that gets sent toward the grounding cord, but a lot of this energy actually never gets dumped into the grounding cord. So it's kind of like a backlog of energy right there at the opening to your grounding cord. It's taking a minute. Good. It's starting to move better. It's there was very heavy, thick, grainy energy in there. It's starting to move. Yeah, it's moving. I'm going to go ahead and fill all of your chakras in now with some gold. Oh, that was good. Giving that first chakra a proper spinning immediately helped you start releasing down your grounding cord. It just opened the whole thing up. So that was good. All right. Okay. I just started a new job. It's a temp job, 3 to 4 months. Can you give me a healing as I start my new job? Started today. Yes, I will give everybody a healing on their job. The first thing I'm looking at when it comes to your job, and I'm saying this to everyone, including the person that asked this question, is the importance of understanding how to set your own energy when you're at a job. And that's because, and I've talked about this before, where company beings, the beings that run the companies, oftentimes run their energy a lot lower than a spirit in a female body. And when the company being starts setting the energy at work or at a business, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in your own aura, your energy might be up here when you come in, but it'll start dropping to match where the company's energy is set. Well, you might not be very productive here. You might be very productive here, but not that productive here. So what I'm going to do is work on helping you set the energy for your aura for work. And what's being shown to me, one of the first things that's being shown to me is that the earth energy that you're running isn't that clean, and that is having an effect on how you set your energy. So we're going to clean out your earth energy. That's in your leg channels. I'm also showing you how to pull your aura in close to your body so that when you're at work, you're not absorbing all your coworkers' energy and pictures from their auras. And showing you how to tuck the edge of your aura in under your feet into your grounding cord. And then how to set the energy in your crown chakra to something that's going to be in affinity with you. And now I'm going to ask Supreme Being to give everybody a blessing on their job. And the main energy that's being brought in is validation for doing a good job. Because what I'm hearing is that you do not get the verbal accolades or validation that you deserve. And that validation is coming in at a bright, bright yellow gold. Oh, that was great. Thank you for that request. That was good. Okay, I've got a couple more here. Can you please remove the snakes and beings in and around us? Absolutely. So just for anybody that's on the call that doesn't know what a snake is, it's not the reptile that you think it is. Snakes are a term that we use for low-level beings that are non-evolvable. It means that that being is never going to evolve higher than competition, control, or destroy energy. And therefore, they can be eliminated. And so we use a technique called erasing on low-level beings like that. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase some snakes now out of everyone's space. And I'll tell you something interesting about snakes. Those of you that have taken erasure classes know this, but for those of you that haven't, snakes are interesting because they lay eggs, excuse me, in past time, present time, and future time. So when you're erasing snakes, you need to get the snake, its mate, and the eggs that are in past, present, and future time. I haven't forgotten you. I'm just working on the beings right now. It's really cool when you can eliminate snakes, because a lot of times when you clear the snake energy, the rest of the energy on whatever it is that you're healing, whether it's a person or a place or a space, brightens up like immediately. So they have such a dramatic impact on a person or a place or a space. Okay, that's looking a lot better. That was a good request. Thank you. And I'm going to fill you all in with gold. Okay. I have a question. Where is my sluggish issue? It's almost like a tongue twister. Where is my sluggish issue? Stomach, liver, gallbladder, intestines? Will my detox tea help this? The organ that comes up is your gallbladder. I'm going to ground it. Yeah, your gallbladder's not really functioning at 100%. And what I'm doing is I'm clearing some grayish white energy out of it that I can tell doesn't belong in there. And maybe if we clean out enough foreign energy, it'll start functioning a little bit better. And as for whether your detox tea will help, I actually see it will help a little. I don't think it's helping as much as you think it is or would like it to, because when I look at it, whatever that particular brand of detox tea is, it helps at about like maybe 15%. And you might get somebody to muscle test you to see if there's maybe a specific gallbladder flush or tea that you could use that might work a little bit better. Okay. All right. Well, the good news is that your gallbladder is releasing energy now. So that's very good news, because it will free up some space for it to do its normal functions. I'm going to fill that in with gold. And then I'm just going to clear sluggish energy out of everybody in the sanctuary and see what comes out. This is kind of revealing. The sluggish energy has so much to do with the junk that's in our food. And that's what I'm looking at, is how much stuff is having difficulty being digested, processed, absorbed. There's all kinds of issues, and it's not our natural food. It's the stuff that gets added to it. Like when I'm looking at this right now, to me, it looks like 85% of the sluggishness that I see in everyone's bodies in the sanctuary has to do with food issues and eating foods that don't work in your body, or foods that have been genetically modified, and the body doesn't know what to do with that. All kinds of things, but it has to do with our food, and I'll say the lack of integrity in our food supply currently. Well, this healing is bringing a lot of light to the intestines, which is nice. And it makes me think it's time for everybody to detox. I highly recommend detoxing every now and then. Good. That's getting a nice healing. The intestines got a nice healing. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to fill you in with gold. I'm kind of surprised at how much just clearing the energy of bad food made a difference in your body. So that's really encouraging. And that's why you want to use your grounding cord. And by the way, did you know that you can use your grounding cord to ground your food before it gets into your mouth? You can ground your refrigerator, the food in your refrigerator. If you go out to eat, I would ground your plate before you start eating. I've worked in a restaurant. I know what goes on behind the closed doors. And I would highly recommend grounding your food when you go out. And it's good because it will take all that excess energy off of it. All right. Just want to make sure you're all filled in. That looks good. The energy that was brought in was like a light orange, yellow gold. And I think I covered everything, all of the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. Seek and you will find. May it be with the blessing of divinity that this Seek and you will find session tonight be complete. Amen. Well, good job. I don't know if you looked at your email today, but I sent the mailer out. And so the mailer is all of the classes for coming up for the next month. And I'm just going to go over with you what's next this month. Let me see here. The next thing we have in the sanctuary is a luxury healing, and that's on the 30th, which is next Wednesday night. And then in April, Women's Intuition class is going to be on setting the energy of a room, and we're going to use our bedrooms as the target room to clear, and I'm going to teach you different methods on how to ground and own a room, and the same methods that we use for house healings. So once you learn how to do your own bedroom, then you can go through the rest of your house and give it a nice healing. And so that's what's coming up next month. And I will see you next Wednesday night. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Enjoy your healings, and I got my eyes on you. I will see you next Wednesday night for some luxury. Okay, good night.